I'm signing a memo directing the termination of over $580 million in DoD contracts and grants that do not match the priorities of this president or this department. In other words, they are not a good use of taxpayer dollars. As DoD partners with Doge here to make sure that our warfighters have what they need by cutting the waste, fraud, and abuse.
So the Defense Department embracing Doge as Elon Musk prepares to visit the Pentagon today. And in just a few hours, Hegseth and President Trump are expected to deliver remarks at the White House. Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell joins us now. Sean, good morning. Congratulations on the new role.
Thanks, Lawrence. Good morning from the Pentagon.
So, Sean, you guys have already identified, you and the Secretary of Defense, $580 million of waste, fraud, and abuse contracts. Doge is going to be there today with Elon Musk. Do you expect more cuts?
Well, so yeah, $800 million plus that we've saved here at the Department of Defense. And really, I mean, the charge for us was very clear, set forth from this president and his historic mandate in November and Secretary Hegseth's vision, is to look for ways to find wasteful spending in the Pentagon and look for additional creative ways to reinvest in our warfighters. That's exactly what we're doing. And Doge is really helping us to do that. We welcome them here. And you gotta think, Lawrence, every dollar that we save here in a wasteful spending program is a dollar that we could reinvest in the warfighters. And Elon Musk is coming today for a Pentagon visit. Super excited about that, Lawrence, because Elon Musk is a patriot. He's smart.
That's right.
He's a great businessman. He's an innovator. We look forward to the ideas that he's bringing to us here today.
So, Sean, I've been talking with my sources, and there's several reports circulating about Elon getting classified information, operation stuff. They tell me that's not true. Can you say that on record that none of that has happened? This is about the waste, fraud, and abuse.
Yeah, on the record, that is completely fake. And let me show you, this started with this New York Times headline, and they've since changed it, but Musk set to get access to top secret U.S. plan for potential war with China. This is egregious. This is fake. The New York Times should retract this story, 5 anonymous sources. I've been on bilat calls with the secretary. I see how hard he's working to implement the president's agenda and pursue peace through strength. This type of garbage from the New York Times undermines that process and undermines our mission. It shouldn't happen at all. Elon Musk is just coming over here for a visit. Again, he's an innovator. This is a guy that shot a rocket at thousands of miles an hour that's thousands of pounds. And as it landed back on the Earth, it was grabbed out of midair by a giant robot arm. Yeah. We want a guy like Elon Musk in the Defense Department to help us come up with creative solutions to the problems that we face of the day. But this article is ridiculous. It's fake, and I can confirm that on the record.
It's just hurtful to the country. Talk about what's happening in the Oval today with the president as well as the Secretary of Defense.
Well, I can't scoop the president, and I'm certainly not going to scoop the Secretary of Defense. But listen, you're going to want to make sure that you watch what happens with Secretary Hegseth and President Trump in the Oval Office at 11. It's going to be huge.
Roger that. So, Sean, tell me, there's been a lot of malicious compliance going on at your department right now. I saw that Jackie Robinson was removed. This happened early on in the administration when it came down to the Tuskegee Airmen as well. What is happening behind the scenes to get those people out of the department? Because I know the secretary, I know he knows who Jackie Robinson is. I know he wouldn't order this.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. I mean, basically, there are hundreds of thousands of pieces of content here, DEI content that is spread across the force. We gave the force an aggressive deadline to remove divisive DEI content. They have moved out in support of that mission. It was a Herculean task. And what we used were keyword searches and AI tools, basically software to help us comb through all of this data. And as a result, some things were removed either by accident, some things were removed maliciously. But the bottom line is that regardless of how they were removed, we're going to fix them. Yeah. And so, yeah, the secretary's guidance was not and has never been to remove historical figures or, professional athletes from our websites or anything like that. So there is malicious compliance going on here at the Department of Defense. We know that, and we saw that in the president's first term. Yep. We see that a little bit today, but We're not going to allow that to happen.
That's
We're
right.
not going to allow that to detract from President Trump's vision and Secretary Hegseth's vision here at the Pentagon. We're going to get the job done.
Well done, because American history is not DEI. DEI is
Correct.
DEI. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it, setting the record straight this morning.
You got it, Lawrence. Thanks for having me.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.